তোমরা সবাই ভালো আছো?
জি স্যার, আলহামদুলিল্লাহ। আপনি কেমন আছেন স্যার?
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ আছি, ভালো আছি। তোমরা সাবধানে থেকো।
জি
আচ্ছা, কে
ইনশাআল্লাহ।
তুমি কি বলছো?
স্যার আসাদ, TM15।
আসাদ?
ইয়েস স্যার।
আসাদ বলছো? আচ্ছা।
জি স্যার।
তোমরা তোমরা সবাই একটু ভিডিওতে আসতে চাচ্ছি যে তোমরা আছো কিনা ফিজিক্যালি।
জি স্যার।
তোমরা সবাই একটু ভিডিওতে আসো। ভিডিও। হ্যালো, তোমরা কি আমাকে শুনতে পাচ্ছ? ক্যান ইউ হিয়ার মি ফ্রম
ইয়েস স্যার।
বাংলাদেশ এন্ড কাশ্মীর?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
ইসলাম,
আসসালামু
প্লিজ।
আলাইকুম স্যার।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। Please
আসসালামু
let me
আলাইকুম
see
স্যার।
the video. Walaikum assalam. Walaikum assalam. আমরা we will start actual lecture by 10 or 10. That is at the 10 minutes we will start our main lectures, and before that uh, I would like to talk to you regarding the fourth year syllabus, the IYCA, breastfeeding, complementary feeding, growth, vitamin deficiency, respiratory disorder of the AI, bronchitis, asthma, among diarrheal disease. A little bit we have been discussed. So today, the day before, I could not join the class because that day was my second COVID vaccine day, and I reached hospital at 11 o'clock. So it was late, and that is why that was postponed. So in infectious disease, that day tuberculosis and enteric fever we have discussed, and today we are going to discuss dengue fever, malaria, and kalazar, and one of the important poisoning in children, that is kerosene poisoning. Kerosene poisoning and drowning. So these are the topics from fourth year syllabus, and today we'll be discussing these topics in short, so that in the next class we can start our fifth year syllabus, because you are supposed to attend the class of fifth year, but as you know that because of the COVID situation, fourth year class was not held up, and so fourth year class was not there, and that is why fourth year topics I have discussed in short. So only 57 you have responded till this time. 57. So only few of you are visible in video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 4. So Aman, Tiki, roll 66, Junaid, Rakib, Sana, Mumaya, Zahrun, Shoaib.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
Walaikum assalam. Walaikum assalam. Yes, Mehdi Hassan, Farhana, Prince Kafar. So how is life? How your fasting is going on? Are you fasting all? All
Yes,
of you
sir.
are fasting? Oh, fine.
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ
Yes
স্যার।
sir.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Very good. So during to attend the class is very difficult. But one thing is in your favor, that you are sitting at your home. Probably Mojammel
Yes, sir.
still rubbing his eyes. Probably still he is sleepy. Mojammel, roll 28. Uh, okay, fine, no problem. No problem. So let us so আমরা আজকে infectious disease, previously tuberculosis and enteri fever was discussed on day 6th of April, and today dengue fever, now it is 10 or 10 o'clock. So it is dengue fever. It's very common, and every season it is coming. And dengue fever is a viral fever. It's a febrile illness. Simply I'm telling you, it's a febrile illness, and fever is very high swinging temperature causing body ache, muscle ache, headache, vomiting, and reluctant to feed, that is anorexia. And this is caused by the dengue virus. There are 4 types of dengue virus. Can you see me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
There are 4 types of dengue virus. Den 1, Den 2, Den 3, Den 4. So one person can be affected by den virus 4 times in his life, because serotype 1, serotype 2, serotype 3, serotype 4. If the patient is attacked by type 1, he or she will become immune to type 1, but 2, 3, 4 is remaining. Again, in the next year, if by 2 is affected by serotype 2 virus, then again he or she will be immune to Den 2. Similarly, Den 3 to Den 4. And out of these 4 Den virus, Den 3 is dangerous. It can cause your dengue hemorrhagic fever. So now this virus cannot enter into the human body directly. It is the mosquito, female Aedes aegypti mosquito, which mosquito carries the virus and bites the human body and infects the human body. Clear? So this is the Aedes aegypti mosquito which carries the virus, then virus, and bites the human body, and human body gets infected with then virus, leading to this febrile illness. And the incubation period, it is 48 hours to 7 days. Within this time, the fever will start. Patient will be feeling of high fever, severe body ache, headache, vomiting, anorexia. And there are 2. The initial first 48 hours, there will be high peak of temperature, again fall of temperature, and then second wave of temperature, rise of temperature is there. So that is why it is called the biphasic fever, biphasic. That is appearance of 2 episodes of febrile illness within 1 week, biphasic fever. So when a fever after subsidence within 2 or 3 days, again on day 4, 5 comes, probably without any other signs and symptoms, probably this is a viral fever and this is dengue fever, and you must go for investigation. What are the investigation? Within 4 days is the best time. Sometimes within 5 days, the antigen of dengue virus can be detected. Antigen of dengue virus is detected. That is called dengue NS1 antigen. NS1 means non-structural 1 antigen of dengue virus. So that virus can be detected up to first 4 days or maximum 5 days. After that, this antigen disappears. This antigen is not present in the body, and antibody appears, and after 1 week, we used to do anti-dengue antibody, both IgM and IgG. So this is the specific diagnostic criteria of dengue virus. And at the same time, complete blood count can be done. And in blood count, you'll be finding there is leukopenia, because we know this dengue virus is some sort of bone marrow suppress. It causes bone marrow suppression. And you know, in viral disease, there is increase of lymphocyte and decrease of neutrophil. And as a whole, there will be relative leukopenia, thrombocytopenia, and hemoglobin also will be reduced. So this is the uh, 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 laboratory findings, initial laboratory findings. And in if it is dengue hemorrhagic fever, how will you understand that it is hemorrhagic fever? The evidences of bleeding manifestation like epistaxis, gum bleeding, subcutaneous hemorrhage, petechiae, purpura. These are the evidences of bleeding manifestation. And if you do complete blood count with platelet count and hematocrit, hematocrit is very important because you know this fever causes vomiting and anorexia. So patient cannot take food, rather there is vomiting. So patient becomes dehydrated. So because of dehydration, blood becomes concentrated. Blood, this plasma portion becomes less and formed elements becomes high. So blood becomes concentrated, that is hemoconcentration. So because of hemoconcentration and the plasma will be reduced, so hematocrit goes up. When there is hemoconcentration, plasma will be, hematocrit will go up. So that increased hematocrit indicates severe dehydration as well as chance of cerebral thrombosis is there because of the hyperviscosity syndrome. Hyperviscosity syndrome. And dengue hemorrhagic fever, so these are the bleeding manifestation. And if the thrombocytes or platelet count is less than 1 lakh per cubic millimeter, then we label it as dengue hemorrhagic fever. And dengue shock syndrome, another is dengue shock syndrome, DSS. Dengue shock syndrome, what happens? Patient will be in shock. Shock means there is evidence of plasma leakage. The evidences of plasma leakage is evidenced by, one is hypotension, number two, serum albumin will be reduced, number three, thrombocytopenia, number four is your hematocrit will be high. So these are the high hematocrit, low platelet count, low albumin, and low blood pressure. So these are the features of, and persistent fever for 5 days. So these are the features of plasma leakage in dengue hemorrhagic fever. And when this plasma leakage is persistent, then it is called dengue shock syndrome. That is persistent hypotension, thrombocytopenia, as well as increased pulse pressure. Increased pulse pressure means when difference between systolic and diastolic pressure is wide gap. That means systolic pressure and diastolic pressure, you know, 120/80 if it is normal blood pressure. So difference is 40. So 40 is the pulse pressure. But in this case, pulse pressure will be increased. Why? Because of the persistent hypotension, the diastolic pressure will be reduced, and pulse pressure will be more than 40. So is altered, liver function is altered, prothrombin time is prolonged, then we call it severe dengue. And now dengue fever, the stage 1, that is the dengue fever, only home treatment paracetamol and plenty of liquids by mouth is enough. But in case of dengue hemorrhagic fever, you have to admit the patient in the hospital, starting fluid, that is 5% dextrose in normal saline, and monitoring of the blood parameters like hematocrit, platelet count, and blood pressure monitoring, urine output, this clinical monitoring. So clinical monitoring and the laboratory monitoring, this should be done. And in case of hemorrhagic fever, dengue hemorrhagic, same treatment, but fluid may be, increased fluid may be needed. That is higher fluid. Sometimes 6 hours, 12 hours, 18 hours, 24 hours. In this way, we have to start the fluid. From initially 1.5 ml per kg per hour, then 3 ml per kg per hour, then 5 ml per kg per hour, then 7 ml per kg per hour. And if it is dengue shock syndrome, we start with 10 ml per kg per hour. So this is in short your dengue fever. And one thing, clinical bedside test for dengue fever is tourniquet test. And you know, in the Viva or in the clinical case, you will be asked what is tourniquet test. So tourniquet test means if you take the blood pressure and if you raise the blood pressure up to the systolic pressure of that patient, say a systolic pressure of a patient is 120 millimeter of mercury, and you keep on rising the blood pressure up to that systolic level of that patient and keep it in situ for 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, if you find the more than 10 petechial rash in the cubital fossa within 1 square inch area, if more than 10 petechial rash is there, it indicates tourniquet test is positive and there is thrombocytopenia. This bedside tourniquet test is done in case of dengue hemorrhagic fever. So any patient coming to you with some sort of bleeding manifestation, suspected case of dengue, if you do bedside tourniquet test and if you find this petechial rash more than 10 in 1 square inch area, then it indicates tourniquet test positive. That is definitely dengue hemorrhagic fever. Even without doing complete blood count, you can understand. Now, malaria. Malaria is a tropical disease. It is also a febrile disease. And you know, malaria, there are organism, causative organism, and there are some vectors. In dengue, vector is Aedes aegypti, and in malaria, the vector is your mosquito, female Anopheles mosquito. Female Anopheles mosquito is the vector for malaria. And malaria causative agents, there are 4 causative agents. Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium malari, and Plasmodium falciparum. And out of 4, this Plasmodium malari is very rarely occurs in Bangladesh. It happens to be in African country, but in our hilly area, there is almost 13 or 14 districts are there, starting from your North Bengal up to Sylhet, Sunamganj, Cox's Bazar, Bandarban, all hilly districts. There, falciparum malaria is highly prevalent. Falciparum malaria, and which is very dangerous and can cause severe malaria in the name of cerebral malaria. So Plasmodium falciparum is causing cerebral malaria or severe malaria, and particularly highly prevalent in the districts of hilly area. And malaria, it's a febrile illness. So the incubation period is different for each causative agents. In case of Plasmodium falciparum, maximum 7 to 9 days is the your incubation period. So anybody coming back from either coming back or staying in the hilly area, if gets febrile illness, fever, high fever, and or gets fever within 9 days of coming back from hilly area, please advise the patient to do a test for malaria, particularly Plasmodium falciparum. So these are the positive agents, and it's a febrile illness. The fever has two stages. One is hot stage, one is cold stage. Initially, when the fever comes, the patient will be shivering, will be there, and feeling of extreme cold, and rising of temperature within the body, even 103, 4, 5. And after that, there will be huge sweating and feeling of hot. So this cold and hot phase of fever. Malaria patient, they will be in a two stage of fever. One is initial feeling of cold, and followed by hot. And when hot, they will be sweating. As if shower has taken. So huge sweating leading to hotness of the body. So this cold and hot phase. And usually fever comes on daily basis, alternate day basis, and every third day basis. The quartan tertian fever, and regular febrile illness. So out of these 4, or better to say 3, that Plasmodium malariae is not common in Bangladesh, but it happens to be in Africa. But when a patient is affected by Plasmodium malariae, there is chance of renal involvement leading to nephrotic syndrome, because they have got special predilection to infect kidney, Plasmodium malariae. Otherwise, these 3, Plasmodium vivax and oval, these 2 has got 2 phases: exoerythrocytic cycle, erythrocytic cycle. From parasitology. So exoerythrocytic means when the mosquito bites, it is taken up by the macrophage from the skin, and it is multiplied in the blood, in the erythrocyte. This erythrocyte is erythrocytic cycle, and after multiplication within the erythrocyte bursts out, season, and burst, and leading to your rigor. Rigor means shivering with fever. And then after this stage, some of the Plasmodium vivax and ovale, they go inside into the hepatocyte, that is the exocytic cycle. Is cycle, another is exocytic cycle, and affecting the mature RBC only, so leading to anemia. So chronic malaria leads to chronic anemia. Another thing, Plasmodium falciparum, but it affects all the 3 stages of RBC: premature RBC, mature RBC, and your old RBC, all stage of RBC. আচ্ছা, আমি তো শুধু এই পেজটা দেখতেছি, অন্য পেজ দেখতে পাবো না? এগুলো দেখো। কিন্তু ওরা তো আমাদের ভিডিও আসতেছে না। না, আমি তো বলছি ভিডিও অন করার জন্য। Please open up your video. Please open your video. হ্যাঁ না ওরা তো আসছেই আমি ওই পেজে ওরা থেকে আছে এদেরকে বলো হ্যাঁ ভিডিও প্লিজ কাম উইথ ইউর ভিডিও আই ওয়ান্ট টু সি ইউ প্লিজ মেভিশ আইরিন হুরমাত জাহিদ জিনিয়া ফয়সাল নাজমুন কাম উইথ ভিডিও জারিন come with video, please. Prince Gaffar, Mudassi, come with video, please. No problem. Come with video. Just I want to see whether you are actually present or not. So could you follow me what I am telling? Hello, Faisal?
Yes, sir.
Can you follow me? This time,
Yes, sir.
the malaria, what we are discussing?
Yes,
Fine.
sir.
Don't get nervous. I know you are residing at your home, but don't feel shy. Don't feel shy. Don't feel shy. Let me see you. Don't feel shy. Prami, Afsana, Hurmat, Zahid, Nazmoon, Saima. Yes, Sumaya, Irene, fine. So nice to see you. Very nice to see you. Because long time I'm not seeing you. So that is why I want to see you. Huh? So don't feel shy. Don't feel shy. So malaria, the Plasmodium falciparum, which is very dangerous. Why dangerous? It infects all the stages of RBC. Immature RBC, mature and old RBC. So there is massive anemia. So when a patient is affected by Plasmodium falciparum, there is chance of severe anemia. See, third page, right? Last. So there is chance of severe anemia. So this is the clinical feature of malaria. And you know, there is a national guideline for malaria treatment, and the drugs are, you know, the chloroquine sensitive area, chloroquine resistant. And chloroquine resistant, there is latest combination treatment, co-artemether. The name is co-artemether. That is lumefantrine and your artemether. These two is combined, and it is given in injectable form, and oral forms are also there. And in case of malaria caused by falciparum, which is called severe malaria, it should be treated in the hospital because patient may be in shock, patient may be hypoglycemia, patient may be severe anemia, patient may have convulsion, patient may be unconscious. So these are the and at the same time there may be liver failure. So these are the presentation of severe malaria caused by Plasmodium falciparum. So patient should be admitted to the hospital and injection treatment should be given. If co-artemether, that is lumefantrine and artemether, is not available, in that case we used to give quinine injection. Quinine injection we used to give. Quinine injection. So these are the injectable treatment, and the oral treatment, if it is sensitive to chloroquine we used to give, and other symptomatic supportive treatment, that is IV fluid, paracetamol, anticonvulsant. So these are the supportive treatment. And now Kala-Azar. Kala-Azar, you know, there is causative agents and there is vector. Vector is sandfly. Sandfly, medical English name is Phlebotomus argentipes, and the causative agent is Leishmania donovani. So when there is leishmaniasis, the systemic disease produced by Leishmania donovani is called leishmaniasis. And it is called visceral leishmaniasis. Visceral, that is, this donovani this donor bene multiplies in the reticuloendothelial systems that includes your liver, spleen, reticuloendothelial systems that includes bone marrow, spleen, liver. These three organs where Leishmania tonobeni multiplies, and ultimately there is hepatosplenomegaly, and marrow remains full of LD body. There is Leishmania tonobeni, and when bone marrow is normal marrow is occupied by LD body, and liver spleen is infiltrated with LD body. So there is chronic anemia because bone marrow is occupied by the foreign bodies. So bone marrow cannot function properly. So there is anemia. And as a whole, not only anemia, leukopenia and thrombocytopenia, because all the form elements are found by bone marrow, where the LD body has been occupied the space. So leading to anemia, leukopenia, and thrombocytopenia. You'll be asked in the Viva table, what is the complete blood count picture in case of Kala-Azar? It is called acquired pancytopenia. Acquired pancytopenia, 3 form elements goes down, as if plastic anemia. So 3 components goes down. One is because of the occupying the bone marrow. Another is this Kala-Azar, there is production of immunoglobulin, autoantibody. So antibody is formed, the hypergammaglobulinemia. Hypergammaglobulinemia, which is the production of autoantibody. This autoantibody means antibody against your own cell, own tissue. Against your own cell or own tissue. So there is formation of auto antibody, RBC antibody, WBC antibody, and antiplatelet antibody. So all these antibody causing damage, as well as bone marrow is occupied by the LD body. So there is acquired pancytopenia. There is leukopenia, anemia, and thrombocytopenia. And the clinical feature is prolonged fever, at least fever for 2 weeks, not responding to any antibiotic, any medicine. Fever lasting more than 2 weeks, and having organomegaly, spleen and liver, organomegaly, and abdominal distension, and the normal conventional test is normal, but if you do at that time RK39, RK39, R means small r, small r. This is for your recombinant. Recombinant K means kinetoplast 39. So this is the artificially manufactured recombinant form of kinetoplast 39. If you do the test with a single drop of blood from the patient, and there will be agglutination. So this RK39 immunochromatographic test, ICT, immunochromatographic test. This immunochromatographia test will be 100% positive if the patient is suffering from visceral leishmaniasis. So this is the test, confirmatory test. You will be asked what is the complete blood count picture and what is the confirmatory test. So this is the confirmatory test. And if not treat the patient, it's complete fatal disease. Patient will be dying. Patient will be dying. So treatment is, latest treatment is injectable treatment. Latest treatment is injectable. That is, yeah. injection given within 4 hours of time, IV infusion. So this single injection followed by miltefosine for 1 to 2 weeks is that ideal treatment, and this treatment is 100% successful. কতজন আসলো? So this is yeah, Kala-Azar. So more or less this is enough if you know Kala-Azar, malaria and dengue fever. And I think today time is over. If you have any question, you can ask me. Any question? Any question? Aminur, Faisal. Faisal is not live. Faisal, any question? Afsana Islam, question? Any question? Muzammil? So these are the 3 diseases. Invariably, it comes in written, viva, and you'll be encountering when you'll be a doctor in the hospital, you'll be seeing this patient. Faisal, any question?
No, sir.
Junaid? Musfika, from the very beginning, she was very sincere. Musfika, any question?
No, sir.
No, sir. Today, I'm very happy because I'm seeing you. I'm seeing you. Huh? So that is more important. Acha.
স্যার
Yes.
স্যার আমরা স্যার যে মাইক্রোবায়োলজি ডিপার্টমেন্টে স্যার পড়ছিলাম যে প্লাজমোডিয়ামের 5টা স্পেসিস, এক্সট্রা স্যার একটা পড়ছিলাম যে প্লাজমোডিয়াম নোলিসি।
না, ওটা আমাদের ক্লিনিক্যাল সেটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট না, ক্লিনিক্যাল ইম্পর্টেন্ট না। তোমরা যদি তাহলে টিউবারকুলোসিসে অ্যাটিপিক্যাল মাইক্রোব্যাকটেরিয়াম অনেক আছে, অ্যাটিপিক্যাল মাইক্রোব্যাকটেরিয়াম অনেক আছে, বাট in MBBS level you have to be concerned with only mycobacterium tuberculosis. Okay, so the
Yes,
more
sir.
important thing should be in your mind, particularly at your level. And if anyone desire to know more than that, that is extraordinary, that he can. But the 4th, 5th plasmodium, probably that is the latest invention, but till date in clinical medicine 4 species are important. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.